How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. Shit's about to get fucking coffee up in this piece in the form of a whole bunch of Tired Hands double shot. First thing first, thank you very much, Steven, for making this possible. I'm on my way back from Vermont, hooked up with Steven. He is the current king shit of fuck mountain when it comes to beer meals. And we met up in person for the first time, and he dropped a bunch of beers off to me. He ended up giving me 4 double shots. Well, 3 double shots. These 3 double shots. The other one was a triple shot. I ended up reviewing that separate to this one. This is probably going to go up at the same time as all my other beers. I have this planned. It will happen. It will happen. But I have a bunch of Treehouse stuff that he dropped off to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whole day of Treehouse tomorrow. That would be Saturday the 24th or something like that. I have about 8 videos and totaling 11 beers. And I'm just going to do a whole Saturday of Treehouse. One every hour. We'll see how that works out. But anyway, this is the last of the bunch. So this is going to come at the end. So all the shit I'm saying now, you guys are going to be like, why didn't you say that at the beginning? I would have found out. Anyway, yeah, he bestowed these on me, and I was kind of like, man, I should really do a side-by-side on these, and that's what's going to happen. I have to do it for science. It is a Friday night. I have cork stoppers. These should make it a day or two. Should be good on that. So, yeah, don't want to drink 3 of these to my dome in one night, but we're going to open them right now. So what we have here is Espresso double shot, we have Costa Rican double shot, and we have Hairbender double shot. What that's all about, I don't know. We're going to read the back. I'm going to read the whole back of this one, and I'm going to read the snippets from this one. It's basically the same thing over and over, except for like the middle of the beer. Double shot Espresso. I believe they're all the same ABV. Hopefully, well, they don't say it on here, but hopefully they are, so we know. Anyway, what the base is. This batch of double shot crafted for those who enjoy an intense, amplified, well-rounded coffee character paired with a decadent beer base, and working with our friends from Grace Note Coffee, we are able to craft a blend of coffee that excites the palate without overwhelming it. This beer pours a midnight black in a glass and features intense, freshly roasted coffee notes. We taste freshly brewed espresso, syrupy dark chocolate molasses, and dark brown sugar. This is such a treat. We invite you to share with good friends or keep it to yourself. This rendition may be difficult to share. As far as this one, they're actually a little bit different. These 2 are the same, but I'm just going to read the middle snippet for you. Here we have, this is a culmination of years of a coffee beer project, 5 years in the making. We'll skip to the middle on this one and go. Here we have chosen to utilize a bright Costa Rican coffee from the Torres family. We taste and smell butter, cookies, caramel, milk, chocolate covered espresso bars, and a hint of citrusy-like acidity. And as far as the Hairbender goes, crazy name. This one is going to be impossible to read. Let's see. Here we choose to utilize a house blend from Sumtown Hairbender. We taste and smell dark chocolate, molasses, espresso beans, and overtones of citrus-like acidity. So there you go. Tasting notes for you all. 3 little ladies all in a row. Let's actually just dive into these and see what's what. I got my fancy little kind of glasses here with flowers on them. They're the only 3 like matching ones I can get. You know, I had these 3 glasses. You saw me break one at one of the Beer Tuber Paloozas. So yeah, I'm gonna crack all these 3 at the same time. Hopefully they do not gush on me, and then we'll see what's what. Okay, we'll do 2 on the outside to start. So let's see what we have here. Actually, let's give you guys the proper view here. What am I doing? Fucking everything up here is what I'm doing. I don't know. Last time I think I've done a 3 beer side by side. It was like I had other people involved. Whether it was my brother, it might have been my buddy Brad. Who I miss dearly. I miss you, Brad, so much. He is now a Brooklynite. He is in the beer industry. That's what he does. That's what he did when we reviewed stuff. So he's still in there. And we'll dive this one in there. But I don't see him nearly as much as I should anymore. So. Anyway, so there we go. Okay, we are poured, and I'm going to tell you right now. I think the middle one looks slightly different as far as the head goes, but in the grand scheme of things, there's a light beneath this one, there's a light beneath this one, and this one does not have a light. I'm assuming that's just kind of the way the light works on this. So, I mean, as far as they all look, they look exactly spot on the same. So, I didn't do a good setup on this one. I don't know where I should put these bottles. Still, those all look fine enough, right? Yeah, we're good. Anyway, let's get to the beer. So, we're going to work this way for the bulk of the review. Let's dive into the espresso, see what she's got as far as the nose goes. I mean, she's nice. I'm getting, not as far as what they're getting. I'm getting like a nice soft coffee, nothing over the top. I mean, for me, espresso, when I think of that, I think of robust, big, concentrated coffee. It's nice. It's coffee forward, but it's not over the top. I'm getting like a fruited portion of something in there. Maybe like a little bit of like, it's almost like a licorice combined with like a plum. I know it's kind of weird, but that's kind of where I'm landing on this one. Yeah, so coffee forward, nothing too crazy. There's a little milk chocolatey vibes kind of floating around in there. I know they don't use lactose in these. I don't believe. Pretty sure they don't. But I'm getting a nice kind of rich kind of milk chocolate vibes off it with that little bit of fruitiness, that plumminess almost. And then a little bit of soft, very gentle kind of naturally occurring licorice. As far as their tasting notes go, what did they say on this one? Espresso, syrupy, dark chocolate, molasses, and dark brown sugar. Yeah, it is what it is. Let's move on to the Costa Rican blend. Oh, not that much different. I'm still getting that little bit of, there's something in there I can get now, though. What is that, man? It's a little bit, more, this is gonna, jammy. Like, take that fruited note over here, that plumminess, and kind of convert that into like a plummy kind of jamminess, maybe with a little bit of raspberry going on. So that's where this one lands. Very similar. Maybe a little bit more rounded, not as aggressive, and it's very minimal difference there. But there's this jammy portion, this fruity jamminess over here. I just don't get that over there. So very similar. Smells quite nice. Just a little jammy notes here. Now let's go over the Hairbender. Harder, sharper edges to everything. Like a little bit more of a dark roast. Just a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, they're all very, very, very similar beers. But again, soft little, like I said, I get that little plummy thing over here, a little jammed version of that, little raspberry. And over here, it's just drop that fruit out a little bit and bring that coffee. Just, I mean, we're talking like little nicks here and there just to kind of amplify and drop some stuff out. And then you got that little bit of more sharpness going on over here. They all smell absolutely fantastic. So let's dive in the old espresso. Cheers. That fruit, for me, is big. Hot going down. There's a burning on the back, almost like a chili beer kind of heat, to be perfectly honest with you. It doesn't last and build like a chili heat, but that's kind of how it comes off for me. Yeah, second sip, not nearly as big, so just acclimating to that ABV. I don't think they're that big. I get that heat in the back. That fruited portion, that plumminess, is now kind of eking towards more. It's more of that green coffee bean. I mean, when you talk about a fleshy green coffee bean, it's that kind of thing going on. It doesn't get into that kind of green pepper kind of greenness, but it's more that green coffee bean. I like it. Not really plummy or anything like that. That's kind of more of a nose thing for me, but it's nice. Mouthfeel is fantastic. Drinks super easy once you get past that first sip. You know, and all the other prerequisites up. Nice coffee, expressive, roasted chocolate malts, all that kind of stuff. She's nice. Costa Rica time. Cheers. A bit more rich. This drinks like what I assumed this one was going to drink like, and that fruit portion was dropped out a little bit. And the roast of the coffee was just slightly larger, slightly bigger. You know, kind of looking down on the beers now. This one does, the head just looks like a micron darker to me. But the way in the nose where I went from jammy to a bit of jammy to a bit more roasty, this is went the kind of fruited portion to a more roasted portion over here. Again, very, very similar beers. I mean, we're talking like, if I was drinking these blind, I don't know if I'd be able to be like, are these the same? They're probably different. I don't know. They're that close to each other. It's that little bump extra over here of roast. Yeah, that's probably it there. I mean, there is that little bit of fruited portion, but going from here to here, when I talk about jamminess, more often than not, that's more of a complex kind of fruitiness. It's not a base fruit, more softer fruit, something added to it. Go from here to here, nose-wise, it was a jump. Here to here, it's kind of like a parallel move, if not a slight drop to here. Maybe that's why that kind of roast is a little bigger for me. I don't know. Hairbender time. Cheers. Hey, this is by far and away the more coffee forward of the bunch. Perceptually, and like I have to keep reiterating, they're all very close. I mean, we're talking jumps of, on a scale from 1 to 10, this is coffee forward, this is an 8, this is an 8.1, this is an 8.3. You know what I mean? We're not saying this is a 5, this is a 7, this is a 10. The jumps are small, but it's definitely more the coffee forward one. You're dropping out quite a bit more of that fruit. And just coming off more straight coffee. It does have a richness to it, a creaminess to it, so it's not like a big dark roast or anything over the top. But it's letting more of those kind of coffee forward, typical flavors that you expect from a coffee. You have to come through the roasted malts, the chocolate, a little bit of soft creaminess, like kind of caramel vibes, all that kind of stuff comes through. And a little bit more toasty, a little bit more sharper edge. So it kind of builds coffee going this way. It builds a little bit more softer and fruity going this way. It kind of makes sense when you think about it. But they're all really tasty beers. But here's the thing. My biggest kind of takeaway is I don't know if... I'm assuming these are all the same base beer with subtle tweaks. More often than not, when a brewery does the same beer and tweaks, they want to make kind of a gradation to that difference. And the gradation between all these is so tight, it's very difficult to perceive. Listen, so many things influence you when it comes to beer. And it comes to your perception of beer and what you get when you drink a beer. You know, time, place, mindset, the whole nine comes into it. So you could drink this beer today and be like, it's okay. And drink the same beer tomorrow and be like, this is fucking awesome. So you could have these beers on separate occasions and be like, this one's awesome, this one sucks, this one's awesome. And then be like, you're dumb because you think this one's awesome, this one sucks, and this one's awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody has that different thing. And it goes for me, too. Do you know what I mean? Certain days I probably dig things differently. Some people like cucumbers pickled, and certain days they like fucking cucumbers. You know, it is what it is. But as it sits right now, side by side, they're very, very similar beers. I wanted to do the grand old cuvee per, you know, trademarked 2019 Joe from Beer Patrol, the old cuvee. I can't say it like him. He's got that, you know, kind of crazy accent thing going on. But I don't think I'm going to get anything different if I do that. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to share these, see what other people think. And I think it's tasty. I think it's nice. Let's go just one round real quick, see if I get any different. Very similar beers, man. So I'll stick by what I said already. There's really not much else to go with it, other than the fact that I think these are really well done coffee beers. I think the mouthfeel comes off absolutely fantastic. I think they're coffee forward enough to appease the very coffee forward fan, but I think they're not harsh enough to kind of turn off somebody that might be not an all-in kind of coffee person, or they can come off very much like milk stouts, even though they aren't milk stouts. And while the variant is very tight, there is a subtle difference between all of them. Great beer is tasty, drinkable. I like them. So let's cut to the chase. Are these some of the better coffee beers that I've had as of late? Listen, I have made no secret that Double Shot, or OG Double Shot, is my favorite coffee beer of all time. I've had OG Double Shot again this year, courtesy of Steve. Who would have thunk it? And that beer was okay. You know, it didn't hit me as dramatically as the OG Double Shot that I originally had did, but I still dug it. This is probably, that being said, this is more, not as impactful as the OG Double Shot that I had originally, but for me are still some of the better coffee beers that I've had as late. Some, you know, kind of do me a little bit better, but these are eating very much towards the top. Which one's the best? I mean, knee-jerk reaction, I'd probably go that one, that one, that one. That's just me. Honestly, tomorrow, in a minute, in a day, I'd probably pick a different order. I don't know. But, yeah, I like them. I think they're all fantastic. Very similar, but fantastic. Vegan availability, the brewery only. I think these are like $9 a piece. I could be wrong. Steve, let me know what's what. And leave you with, if you like what we like these beers. If you like coffee beers, if you like Treehouse beers, if you like coffee beers, and you like beer. There you go. Another side-by-side in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying 3 little ladies on a row. We'll see you next time. Cheers.